All right, so today is January 16th, it's Tuesday, and I took a single trade, and it was roughly for about like $1,400, but I felt like this trade actually was well planned out, well thought out, and executed well. So hopefully, my goal here is just to at least share this so that I can look back and just understand that this is a high quality trade setup for me at least. But my trade started on the hourly chart. The thing that stuck out to me the most, I think, would be this hourly rejection block from Friday. And so I marked this out, basically the length of the wick as the rejection block here, and then I marked out the 50% or the consequent encroachment of the rejection block here. And I saw a nice rejection yesterday. I didn't trade yesterday. I was just kind of watching just because it was a holiday. But just seeing the pre-market rejection here, that at least verified it for me. And then just watching today, kind of the run-up going into it, I was keeping an eye on this rejection block. And I took the trade on the 5-minute chart. My objective today was I closed all of the charts below 5 minutes. And I actually felt pretty good about this because I usually have my entries on the 1 minute. But I entered on the 5 minute, and I watched it on the 5 minute, and this was a longer trade than I'm used to, but I actually felt pretty good about it. I just enjoyed the simplicity of being able to set my trade and then go away. Really, I was looking a couple of things. I had a bit of an order block here, and basically my goal was to look for a retrace. We had a huge displacement away from this rejection block, getting rejected again. We had displacement, we had a fair value gap on the 5 minute forming, and we had a break of structure here. So pretty much every box was checked. I actually ended up entering a bit early on the trade, and I don't think it was that big of a deal. I still stuck to my guns. I was one contract short. I had a deep stop, so this was a pretty deep stop, but I put it above the high. The objective being that we displaced so far away from this high. We also conveniently took liquidity. We took liquidity from this is ES as well. So at this high here, we took yesterday's liquidity, and I figured that was a pretty good thing. We also took some liquidity from pre-market yesterday in NQ. So again, we were in a rejection block, and we ES took highs from yesterday, and Q took highs from yesterday, or at least pre-market highs from yesterday, and we were respecting with a huge displacement away from this rejection block. Everything looked pretty good, so I entered again slightly early. I set my stop loss. So the first 20-30 minutes I was in drawdown, and it didn't bother me much. I said, look, if it's going to break above the highs, then I'm glad to be wrong. And so I took it put the stop above the highs. My target at the moment was actually, I didn't want to target this because I wasn't going to get a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So I went down to 16,893, and that was just over 2 risk to reward. And so everything worked out really well. Unfortunately, I was letting the play work out. A lot of bearish red candles on the way down. What I was a little nervous about was kind of a slowing down here around VWAP, which again, I hopped back in front of the charts and I started micromanaging it. Long story short, after we sold back down here, I took profits not at 2 risk to reward, but I took profits at 1.5 risk to reward. So the trade turned out to be like a $1,400 trade instead of a $1,800 to $1,900 trade. And now, in hindsight, this would have hit my target. We took it by just like a tick or two. So in hindsight, yes, I should have let the trade run. If I had already held the trade through drawdown and all of this, I should have just continued to let it run. In hindsight, that's what I could do better on this trade next time. But otherwise, I was pretty happy with how this played out. I liked the simpleness of the rejection block. I enjoyed seeing liquidity being taken as a prerequisite for my entry. After liquidity was taken on ES and NQ, we had displacement away from the rejection block. We created a market structure shift or a break of structure. I waited for a retrace. This particular one I entered on the 5-minute fair value gap, but I should have waited for probably a deeper retrace into higher premium to take my shorts. But that's whatever. I set my risk to reward 2 to 1. And I took it a little bit too early, which is okay. I took 1.5 risk to reward. That's not something I want to continue moving forward, but I took 1.5 risk to reward ratio, and I made about $1,400 today. So all in all, a single trade today. I'm super happy about it. I think I had a lot of confluences. I made the right decision. I didn't initially micromanage my trade. Once it got into green after all that drawdown, so I was happy about that. But at the end of the trade, I guess I just a little bit of fear started to creep in. I wanted to take my profits, so I exited a little bit early. But I will journal that, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.